Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge podcast, episode number 266. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Follow me at the SkyLounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Podcasts, and also check out the SkyLounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And without any further ado, let's get shit started with episode number 266. Spinning the lively mind in and around a ball. Sports gawking and laughing at Clippers. Oh my God! Dude! What the fuck happened? Oh, gentlemen, we have all been witnesses. If you tuned into the woke league of Chinese basketball last night, very late in the evening, there was a game 7 between the Denver Nuggets and the Clippers. Now, the Nuggets won 104-89. That in and of itself is very impressive to win in game 7. Now, the problem is, if you paint the full context of what happened, this is arguably the greatest choke job we've ever witnessed in this sport. You have to think about this. You have Doc Rivers, who is filleted as the greatest head coach in the NBA by some. And this guy has been so hard at work building up this squad. Remember last season in the postseason, they won 40-plus wins, 8th seed, gave the Warriors 2 games to be afraid of. Wow, Doc Rivers really coaching this team up. It's great. And so what happens? During the offseason, Kawhi Leonard, who has just won a championship with the forever cursed Toronto Raptors, says, I'm going to Inglewood. I'm going to go to the Clippers. And he's off to the private jets of Steve Ballmer to get more perks, talk it up with Doc, and sign up with the Clippers. And you know what he also said? He said, hey. I need Paul George. Specifically, I need Paul George. And Paul George had a lot of balls to say, I'm not going to meet with any other team. Maybe a couple, but he certainly didn't meet up with the Lakers. Not even a fucking sit-down meeting. This motherfucker went straight over to his daddy in Kawhi Leonard that he left OKC and said, thank God I'm out. I am never going to fucking like OKC. Fuck you. Russ and I had a good fling. But fuck this. I'm going to the Clippers. And I remember when that trade happened. About 7 first-round picks. Danilo Gallinari. I thought, man, you're giving up quite the farm for Paul George. But the Clippers fandom and the players insisted that this was the next step. You had Lou Williams, Pat Bev, saying this is the fucking greatest, man. We run LA now. Yeah. New jerseys come out. Steve Ballmer is all fucking excited. All fucking off season. All throughout the preseason, there was just so much hype. Fans bought in. Mainstream media bought in. All the fucking NBA players bought in. And it was just this whole notion that the Clippers were going to rise up. They're going to take Los Angeles. This is our town now. And the regular season opens up with the Lakers versus Clippers. And the Clippers kicked the Lakers' ass. I'll admit that. I remember watching that game thinking, close-ish, but man, Clippers had us by the balls. It sucks. But, you should have heard Clippers fans. Oh, you should have heard these fans, these players pounding their chests like, yeah, we're the fucking best. We run LA now. Look at all our fucking fans. We love this shit. It's amazing. Roll around to around Christmas time. The Lakers are good. The Clippers are good. They're 1-2 in the Western Conference, respectively. And lo and behold, yes, the Clippers win on Christmas Day. I recall that game. I was watching with a lot of folks. Watched at the casino too. Listened to it on radio on the ride home. Driving on home. I remember thinking, we lost to these guys again? God damn it, that sucks. And it sucked. Because you had Clippers fans, again, coming out of the woodworks. Oh! Happy Christmas, motherfucker! Ooh, how you like that L? I'm like, well, it happens. I stole the regular season. Oh, but we run LA. We run Los Angeles now. This is our squad. Kawhi is the best. Kawhi is the best player in the league. And Paul George is the best number 2 guy. There is no comparison. Pat Bev, what a stud. This guy is so much better than Draymond. Lou Williams, 6th man to just a beast who can play 30 fucking plus minutes a night. Oh my God, this is the best fucking squad. Clippers. And then, of course, you have the whole pandemic, quarantine, shutdown. But the Clippers fandom and the players still talking it up. Oh, hey, if the season ever gets started, we're going to dominate. We're going to win. And lo and behold, Orlando said, hey, we got Disney power. Why don't we fucking host a goddamn bubble here? And the bubble restarted. The NBA season again. And all the teams had to play that 8-team qualifying shit that nobody gave a shit about except the Suns, the San Antonio Spurs, the Trailblazers. I'm not even going to put Grizzlies in there. They did not give a shit. But those useless games, again, Clippers were winning, and the fans were going apeshit all throughout saying, this is the greatest team ever. We are the greatest. This is the best. Kawhi is going to go on playoff mode. Playoff P, a nickname that Paul George gave to himself, is going to be activated, and it is going to be the greatest fucking thing ever. But what happens? Round 1 starts, and I'm watching the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. And I'm going to be honest, boys and girls, I'm a Luka Doncic fan. I have his Slovenia jersey, I have his All-Star jersey, and I have a t-shirt that I bought from Dallas called Luka Skywalker. That's how much I love Luka Doncic. He's the fucking best. And I recall during that series thinking, man, if Luka just has a healthy KP, if this Clippers team wasn't such a fucking asshole shit team, I wouldn't hate them so much. But you got to remember, Morris was all over Luka, trying to step on his fucking foot. Pat Bev just talking whole loads of shit. Montrezl Harrell also just pounding their fucking chest all series long. And honestly, despite how, the Dallas Mavericks were ousted in round 1, I honestly watched these games and thought, the Clippers aren't that good. The Mavericks shouldn't have really been in the series by all accounts. If you just go by the numbers and go by the fucking thing. Thing meaning, stats and everything else within context. But Mavs get eliminated. Clippers keep pounding their chest. Oh, we're the fucking best. We're going to run LA. We are going to beat the Nuggets? Denver Nuggets? This is a gimme. Going to the Western Conference Final. This is going to be a battle of LA. We're going to beat the shit out of the Lakers. We're going to win our first championship. We're going to head to our first Western Conference Final in team history. It's going to be fucking great. Who are the Denver Nuggets? It sure seemed like it. 3-1 series lead. Denver Nuggets were dead in the water. The Denver Nuggets, by the way, came back from a 3-1 deficit in round 1 against the Utah Jazz. So you would think maybe by game 5 that the Clippers noticed this trend. Maybe noticed that, hey, the Denver Nuggets have been a team that has been fighting back and chomping at the bits each and every time they are down. Do not underestimate them. But game 5, was it like a 15, 16 point lead? You blew it. Game 6, same deal. Double-digit lead. You blew it. Game 7, double-digit lead. And then you completely collapsed. You blew a 3-1 series lead while being a second or third favorite to win the championship all season long and then through the restart. Do you really think I have any fucking semblance of sympathy for this dog shit organization? Do you really think, as a Lakers fan, I'm going to sit here and justify anything the Clippers have done this season or what the fucking toxic-ass fandom was doing all season long? Get the fuck out of here. I hear assholes like Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, douchebags like Chris Broussard, that douchebag Rob Parker, all these fucking clowns, Marcellus Wiley, Mr. Achoo Achoo, and the same goddamn show, all you fucking cocksuckers that was on this team's dick all season long, and now you're just deflecting and projecting, you fuckers need to fucking jump off a bridge. Take the L like a fucking man. I said the Clippers will lose to the Denver Nuggets in 6. Didn't turn out that way. But in that same recording, I believe it was episode number 252, if I'm not mistaken, boys and girls, just double checking, but can't seem to find the number. Yet I did say the Clippers will lose. They didn't look all that good. I just had a feeling about this shit because the Nuggets were really underrated. And man, I gotta tell you, I find so much fucking joy today as a Lakers fan because this shit, you have to realize this real quick. As a Lakers fan since 1998, I've seen this team's ups and downs. I've seen this team at its peak. I have seen this team at its lowest. All right, franchise record lows. Teen wins. Kobe's last year, that was an atrocity of a season to actually watch. Yeah, I know, 60 points in the season, game finale and all that shit. If you watch the actual season of Kobe's retirement year, that was a disastrous season for the Lakers. And ended up getting them Brandon Ingram and all this shit just kind of spiraled to where we are now. But Clippers. Hold on. Oh my fucking God! How do you blow a 3-1 series lead again, Doc? Doc! 3-1 series leads. I am fucking spitting like an animal because this is just unbelievable. How do you blow 3 separate 3-1 series leads? And ladies and gentlemen, this is not to take away from the fact that Doc Rivers is also the only head coach, not only to have blown 3 3-1 series leads, he is a head coach that is responsible for blowing multiple 2-0 series leads and multiple 3-2 series leads. Are you seriously telling me this is a great head coach? Are you really telling me this is the greatest coach of all time? Are you telling me a coach with a super team in the Boston Celtics? Sound like goddamn Doc Rivers with fucking sore throat shit. But are you fucking telling me a super team, Boston Celtics, you couldn't win more than one championship? You just won one championship with that fucking superstar laden squad? Are you fucking kidding me? You beat the Lakers. Congratulations. You know what happened 2 years later after that? The Lakers beat your ass. And then afterwards, you were never the same. Oh my God. This is arguably the most hilarious fucking thing that has ever happened. Ever. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, boys and girls. I was planning on just talking about this subject for only maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but there are so many layers to this failure. It is absolutely fucking mind-boggling if you think about the context of why this loss is horrendous for the Clippers. And moving forward, you are fucked. And let me tell you why. First of all those first-round draft capitals that you traded away for Paul George, not great. Add to the fact that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George has specific clauses in their contract that they can decline their player option, and then after the 2020-21 season, they're free agents. They have that option. So if you can't run it back next season, you're fucked. And this is where I say again, you are doubly fucked. Because guess what? Every other team in the West, they're getting good. Oh, surprise. Did you not watch the regular season? Did you not watch these fringe teams in the bubble? Did you not notice that OKC, the team that you quote unquote left for dead with the Paul George trade, you realize that team has more optimism than your failure fucking carcass franchise? You have to realize this. I believe there are fringe teams in the NBA right now that either didn't make the playoffs or just kind of, muddled their way near it. They're going to come back and next season and grow stronger, and they are going to buy in for that 4 to 8. And teams like the Thunder, the Suns, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, possibly the Kings, but I don't really see it personally. But did we forget the Warriors exist? Did you motherfuckers just flat out forget the Warriors exist? Did you forget that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson had just been sitting there all season long, injured, just waiting and watching what's going on? All the talking heads just flipping their focus away to the 2 LA teams. Well, 1 LA team and 1 fucking bottom feeder team. But did you motherfuckers seriously forget that Steph Curry, the one-time unanimous MVP, this guy, 2-time MVP, yes, but a one-time unanimous MVP. You have to realize how stupid you have to fucking be to ignore the fact that the Warriors are still there. Oh, and guess what? Despite the fact that they don't have KD, their depth squad is actually pretty damn good. Their G Leaguers, their draft picks, they're all kind of flourishing. That's a fucking problem. Yet you think the Clippers are going to run it back? Oh, yeah. You forget, failing teams like the Clippers, just like the Trailblazers and the Rockets, are going to pretend that they're fucking competitive and try to get in. The Spurs are always a question mark. And then you throw in the actual fucking teams that, in my mind, will just be a fucking hammer down, man. You also throw in the Jazz in there for kind of that fringe team in my mind. But Mavs, Lakers, Nuggets, man, this is a tough conference. And again, Clippers fans, you really think you're going to run it back next year when the West is that much more filled up? And when you realize in the East, talent is slowly but surely growing? You really think that level of arrogance is going to work in the near future? You are foolish. I'm telling you, man, Clippers fandom is probably the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard of. You have such an inferiority complex that Any small thing you do is a win. And Big Brother in the Lakers just looks at you and thinks, oh, okay, like why are you complaining? Why are you bitching and moaning? Who gives a shit? But wow, just wow. I don't really have anything else to tell people who picked the Clippers to get to Western Conference Final and win the championship. I don't have anything else to tell you, but you bought fool's gold. You bought fool's gold. Dude, I was never on this team's high. Maybe it's a Lakers bias, but when you actually watch these games, when you watch the way the Clippers were arrogant all season long, they didn't give a shit about chemistry. They didn't give a shit about fucking games, let's be fair. Load management. They didn't take the fucking bubble shit seriously. Yeah, fucking chicken strip club Lou. Going all up in there in the fucking strip clubs and fucking eating chicken wings. Calling himself Lemon Pepper Lou. Lemon Pepper, bitch, you are chicken strip club Lou. Get the fuck out of here. Pandemic P going off. This is, again, arguably the greatest choke job ever in NBA history. And quite possibly the greatest comedy that we have ever witnessed in the world of sports. I mean, maybe the Tampa Bay Lightning's, getting swept after breaking points and all the shit in the NHL. But this Clippers implosion was just on some next level shit. I really don't understand how Clippers players, fans, anyone involved with the organization thinks this is a viable option for the future. This is a strong, consistent thing that we're going to keep up on. How and why do you think that? What in the actual fuck are you thinking when you do that? Why? You're going to bring back Doc Rivers? This man has been a prolific choker all throughout his career. You're going to blame this on who? You can't blame it on anybody else. Hey, Pandemic P, don't fucking go to the goddamn press and say, oh, this year wasn't a year to expect championship. Bullshit. Bullshit. You literally said this was LA. We're going to bring a championship. They're going to change history. You fucking pussy. You fucking back out on your own goddamn word. You don't remember shit. Because you're all arrogant fucking pricks with zero responsibility and zero accountability. This Clippers team has been such a fucking toxic cancer metastasizing. Oh my God, I can't even fucking say that goddamn word. But these motherfuckers have been growing this arrogant cancer all throughout the fucking season. And then now, because they come up short, it's all the fucking excuses. All their apologists are sucking them off. But I am here to tell you right now, as somebody who has watched this shit just pan out over the last year and a half, go fuck yourself. Don't even fucking get at this shit with, oh, we're still gonna run it back next year. You motherfuckers blew this shit so fucking hard that I will tell you this right now. There is no fucking way you win a ring with this squad. There is no fucking way you do. The fact that you fucking blew another 3-1 series lead is just indicative of how pathetic this Clippers franchise is. Send this shit back to Buffalo. We don't need this shit in LA. Hell, if you want to move but stay within California, go to like Napa Valley or some shit. Go to San Diego. Nobody wants your ass in Los Angeles, man. Trust me. I lived in LA, 98 to 04. I visited LA over the years many, many times. And guess what? I don't ever fucking see Clippers fans. Where the fuck are you, assholes? Because for the last few years, you called yourselves Warriors fans. Remember that shit? Yeah? I know a lot of Lakers fans did too. Let's be fair. But, holy hell. This was just a gift from the basketball gods to all Lakers fans and all basketball fans, because you can't make this shit up. You can't. And listen, I've been spending goddamn near half an hour bitching and moaning about the Clippers, but credit where credit is due, guys. The Denver Nuggets have been absolutely incredible since this bubble restart. I have seen it since they beat the Lakers in the qualifying round, or whatever the fuck that shit was called. And when I saw them come back from a 3-1 deficit against the Utah Jazz, I thought, oh my God, that's a great team. Jokic is finally evolving. Jokic, ladies and gentlemen, is an elite player in the NBA. He has now passed that threshold. He was just, oh, good, great player, to now elite. Jamal Murray, as much as I hate him, as a Lakers fan, I do not like Jamal Murray. But wow, Jamal Murray is amazing. This guy has now gone off. These young guys and their trajectory over the last 5 or so years that I've been watching, just keeping an eye on them, this Denver Nuggets team has flourished. They have finally evolved to that next step, and we are witnessing an ascendancy, guys. The first time ever in NBA history, a team has won back-to-back and come back from 3-1 deficits. That's never been done. And so as a Lakers fan, I know I have to give my full respect and due fucking credit to the Denver Nuggets, because this squad, this team is unbelievable. As a basketball fan, we should all be watching this Denver Nuggets team and thinking, oh my God, this is a dangerous young team. They can potentially upset the Lakers. I believe that. And you know what? I'm going to be really honest, man. If you have an NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, I would not even be mad. That's just me personally. Even as a Lakers fan, I know it's going to be seen as a failure. Lakers are even older. I mean, it's going to be fucking logistically improbable to try to run that shit back next season when, again, the West is that much harder. But if that happens, I wouldn't be mad, because you would see just pure, beautiful basketball from both sides who, honestly, they're super likable teams in the Miami Heat and Denver Nuggets. There are personnel there on both sides that you think, hey, they're very likable cats. They have upset giants, and hell, let's see where they go. And man, I'm telling you, the Denver Nuggets are no fucking pushovers. And Lakers fans, don't get all fucking arrogant. This is what happens when a fan base just assumes that you're going to win. No, stop it. Stop. Give Denver their respect. Fear Denver for what they can do, and be on the lookout for everything they will throw at you. It's not just Jokic. It's not just Murray. They got Jeremy Grant. They got Gary Harris. They got Paul Millsap. Hell, Michael Porter Jr. is fantastic. And let's not forget, boys and girls, a Plumlee is in Denver, which means that's a pretty goddamn deep squad. And I'm telling you guys, I really didn't plan on making this episode just a full woke league of Chinese basketball rant, but man, the Clippers were just that much of a fucking topic that I need to talk about. And again, I think there's still levels and layers to unraveling this shit. But the Clippers' depth and, star power meant absolutely nothing at the hands of Denver, because that's an actual team. And let's not forget, Mike Malone's a pretty fucking good coach. And so, as a Lakers fan, I am very excited about the Western Conference Final, because I fucking knew the Clippers were going to lose. I even had this fucking prediction out before the goddamn restart bubble. I had the Denver Nuggets going to the Western Conference Final against the Lakers. Although I had the Clippers losing in 7 against the Dallas Mavs in the first round. But however unfortunate that didn't turn out, the Clippers are out. The Denver Nuggets will be facing the Lakers. And This is the crazy part, man. The Lakers haven't been back in the Western Conference Finals since 2010. The Denver Nuggets haven't been back to the Western Conference since 2009. And of course, boys and girls, the Clippers have never been to the Western Conference Final. But in those 2 years between 2010 and 2009, the Lakers, of course, went on winning back-to-back championships. So, do I think the Lakers win? Now, I'm going to break this down into possible scenarios I think can happen, and just by means of watching these two teams very frequently, seems all likely. If the Lakers win, I believe the Lakers win it in 6 or 7. But if the Nuggets win, I think they win it in 5. And I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Because the Lakers, as good as they are, in their lows, they are horrible. They are absolutely awful. Lazy, arrogant ball play, just complacent in terms of moving the ball. The speed isn't there. The mental awareness is just off. And when they decide, hey, if by the fourth quarter we're losing, they just give up. And I know that's a tendency with a lot of teams, but this team does it in a so much more prima donna way that it fucks you up. But you know what? This should be an absolutely amazing series. And I think no matter what happens, I'm a happy camper. Obviously, if the Lakers win, they get to the NBA Finals and play for a potential 17th ring, which would be fucking amazing. And the other part is, if the Nuggets win, hell, that's awesome. Like I said, if the Nuggets get to the NBA Finals, their first time ever, and go on to win it all, I wouldn't be mad. I would be very happy for, especially someone like my brother Roy, who is a diehard Denver Nuggets fan. I would be more than happy to cheer alongside a Denver Nuggets fan, hopefully getting a ring. But series hasn't started. It will be starting on Friday, boys and girls, and that will do it for me on this episode, laughing at the Clippers. My God, again, I did not prepare for this episode to be 30 minutes. This was meant to be like a small 10-minute segment talking about everything else in sports ball as well, but the Clippers are just that fucking bad and that much of a fucking anomaly that we had to talk about it for a full 30. So ultimately, kids, you gonna run it back in the LA Clippers? You fucking losers! You blew another fucking 3-1 series lead! Go fucking die! Your franchise is fucking useless! Oh, what a great day to be a Lakers fan. What a great day to be a fucking Lakers fan. And on the next episode of the Sky Lounge, I guess we'll just go ahead and update you on all the sports ball shit that we had typed out on the script. So be on the lookout for that, boys and girls. But boys and girls, that does it for me. All right, motherfuckers. I appreciate you dropping by this episode. Follow me at the Sky Lounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. And also check out the Sky Lounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And until next time, kids, fuck off. Clippers!